Let's go inside and see if we can find anything. Hopefully we come out alive. Hey everyone, it's Dominic the Primetime Treasure Hunter. Welcome back to another video. It is 3:30 in the morning on a Saturday. Now I'm not normally up that early filming videos. I'll tell you why I'm up that early in just a few moments, but I'm going to start off with an item that just sold. And that's the great thing about selling online, is that you could sell items at all hours of the day, including when most people are sleeping, but this one actually just sold. So this one you may remember from my poster video. If you didn't see the giant poster haul that I made at the barn in the middle of nowhere, go check it out. But this one was actually my favorite one of all the posters. I was actually thinking of holding on to this one, but it's okay. I'd rather have the 35 bucks that this one sold for. So this is the nice Batman TV show from the 1960s with Adam West as Batman there and Burt Ward as Robin. And then you've got all the other characters there, like you've got Cesar Romero as the Joker, you've got Frank Gorshin there as the Riddler, you've got Julie Newmar there as the Catwoman, which is my absolutely favorite female villainess character. And then we've got Burgess Meredith as the Penguin. For Rocky fans out there, you may not know that Burgess Meredith, who played Mickey, also played the Penguin in those early shows. And he doesn't look alike because of all the makeup that they did, but if you listen to the voice, that same raspy voice that Mickey used is the same one that was used by the Penguin. And the great acting in that show, even though it was campy, more of the great acting was by the villains. But you know what? Adam West is still my favorite Batman because I grew up with him. So let's talk about storing your poster while it's listed so it doesn't get damaged. What I would suggest doing is just taking one of these mailing tubes and putting your poster inside here. After all, you're going to ship it in this anyway, so why not keep it safe in the interim? If you remember from my recent video about this, these mailing tubes are super strong, so your poster is not going to get damaged when you store it in here. And remember, these have these nice flat caps on the bottom of them, so they stand up real easily. You don't have to worry about them rolling around all over the place or anything like that. In my recent video on this, some people put in the comment section that there are other places that you can go to pick something like this up for free. Now, it might not look exactly like this, but there are lighting stores and department stores like Home Depot and Lowe's that sometimes have items that are shipped out in tubes that look something like this, or boxes that look something like this. And so you could go there and talk to the manager and pick something like that up. But you could also get these in bulk, sometimes in places like eBay. That's where I got these, so I got a whole big stack of them and didn't pay much for them. So there's all sorts of places where you could look. People ask me about the dimensions of this particular poster tube. It's a standard size tube. This one here is 2 inches by 24 inches, so if you're looking for something like that, you know what to type in. You could also see here that I have it labeled. It says BAT66, so this is an easy way, especially if you have multiple posters listed. Once it sells, you could easily locate it and just grab it and then put the shipping label on it. You're already gonna have the dimensions, so all you have to do is weigh it. It's pretty easy. Now, a couple other things that I want to tell you about this is that if you do label it, make sure that you cross it out. If you put it in pencil, you could just erase it or just put a marker through it if you had originally used a marker or a pen, because you don't want people to have an idea of what's inside of this once you ship it out. And again, I do suggest taping down the caps just to prevent anyone from popping them off real easily and taking out what's inside of there. These are the types of things that you need to think about in the day and age that we live in. A couple other tips that I want to mention to you about this. If you just want to easily reduce the size of the poster, the circumference here, all you have to do is put 2 fingers inside like this and just twist, and that will easily shrink the size of the poster like this, so it will make it go inside the tube easier. One of the things that you want to avoid doing is just taking the poster and just putting it inside the tube like this without a rubber band around it. The reason for that is that depending on how long the poster has been rolled up, what could happen is that if you just put it in like this, it's going to expand and it's going to go right up against the edges of the inner tube. And so what's going to happen there sometimes is then when the person tries to pull it out, they could pull it out like this, and you see how it starts coming out unevenly like this. Well, eventually, if your buyer takes it out like that and then they just keep pulling it, see how it starts to get bigger and it starts to compress it against it even stronger. What could happen is that it could tear, and you want to prevent that from happening. So what I suggest doing is just taking a rubber band and putting the rubber band around it. And even with that, you have to be careful because not all rubber bands were made equally. I would suggest taking one like this, like a nice thin flexible one like that, not some old thick rubber band that is going to be really hard to kind of move up and down the poster, because then that could actually wind up staining the poster and damaging it by wrinkling it, creasing it, that sort of thing. So you want something that's kind of stretchy like this, one that you could put over and double like that, and then just roll it down like that. It should roll down nice and easily. It shouldn't be a struggle to get it down here. And then you just easily put it right inside like this. And remember, take some bubble wrap or something similar to it and put it around the edges so that this is not damaging up against the cap. You don't want to hear it shaking around inside of the tube. You shouldn't hear any movement at all once you put one piece of bubble wrap on the side here and here too. And you have to be careful not to overstuff it with bubble wrap, because you don't want to damage the poster inside by pushing down too much bubble wrap into it. So you just have to use some judgment with that. So that's just a little couple of extra tips on the posters. Now, one other update on a sale that happened last night when I actually wasn't here. Mrs. Primetime actually wound up completing the transaction. It was for that golf bag that I picked up in that free pile at the garage sale a few weeks back. Last time I showed it to you, it was sitting in my shed, and I told you I might have to hold on to it until the springtime because it's getting colder out. Well, we just lowered the price a little bit on it just to get rid of it. We had it up for $40, lowered it to $25. Someone came by yesterday and picked it up. But just another good example of to sometimes look for oversized items that are being given away for free at sales or at really low prices. I made a great deal with golf clubs earlier this year that I got for a really low price at a garage sale, those wooden ones, and made a nice profit on that. So don't just narrow your mindset into things that could be shipped out on eBay. Look for those big oversized items too for your local marketplaces. Okay, so now as to why I am up at 3:30 in the morning. My son has another basketball tournament, and last time we did a road trip, we went out to Pennsylvania for this. This time we're going to the capital of New York. We're going to Albany, New York. That's right. For those of you who thought New York City was the capital of New York, it's not. It's Albany. That's where we're headed. It's about 2.5 hours east. It's going to take about 3 hours when you factor in, stopping off, getting snacks and restrooms and all that kind of stuff. Now, I don't know what's going to happen along this trip because the first game is at 10 o'clock in the morning and you have to get there about a half an hour before. And then the next game after that is around 2 o'clock, 2:30. So I'm not sure if there will be any opportunity to go source. I don't even know what's going on in the area. I'll just turn on yard sale treasure map and just check it out. Look on Craigslist, see if there's anything going on in Albany. If not, this one might just turn out to be a what's sold video and a tip video, but who knows? We'll see what happens, and then we'll head out on our trip and see if anything interesting happens along the way. All right, we're off. 6:30 in the morning. No rest for the weary. Let's head to Albany. Okay, we have arrived to the school where the games are going to be played. It was a nice trip overall, and I did see some garage sales nearby. That's the good thing about playing near a high school, is that there's homes nearby and there's sales. So we may have a chance to check some out later, and this is where we're at. I know someone's going to watch this one day who went to this high school, so if so, I'll give a shout out here to Waterford Half Moon Union Free School District, home of the Falcons. Go Falcons! All right, well, they won the first game. Primetime Junior with 2 baskets. Give me 5, man. And we are going to go find something to eat right now. And then after lunch, we're going to head around and look for some treasures at some garage sales and see what else might be around where we could find some things. Forget the garage sales, folks. I found an estate sale. Let's go check this one out. Okay, well, I found it, and this might look pretty creepy to some of you, but there is really no sign of any cars nearby, but that is where the sale is. You can see there's the sign again right on the front of that car. So I am going to go in there. We are going to check out what is inside of there. Now, this was supposed to start at 10 o'clock and it goes to 6. It is now 12 o'clock, so I'm not sure what happened. If it's just a family running it, doesn't look like this is something run by a professional company by the signage. So let's go inside and see if we can find anything. Hopefully we come out alive. My son says that he doesn't want to die, but we'll be okay. We'll be all right, buddy. Come on, let's go, man. And yes, if you're wondering, I did bring my box with me, just in case. Always got to be prepared. Hey, buddy. How you doing? All right, I'm out of there. This piece is absolutely beautiful. This is what I was talking about this morning when I was saying look for things at sales. That is not something that you would ship on eBay. This is not something I would ship on eBay. This is something that we are going to list on Facebook Marketplace. I can't believe that I got this for $5, but it was 2 guys. They were just blowing some stuff out that an 84-year-old guy from Colombia used to live here. It was the guy's grandfather, and they were just blowing the stuff out. Now, there wasn't too much stuff in there that was valuable, but this caught my eye, and I definitely had to grab it. So I'm going to consult with Mrs. Primetime on this to figure out a price, and I'll update you later. I'll let you know what she thought about it. Now, I did get one other piece. I'm going to show it to you in just a second, and I'll let you know why I couldn't show it to you in the sale. Yeah, these 2 guys that were running the sale, they were in their early 20s, and they were just blasting a lot of loud music when I found this particular item, so I figured I'd just show it to you afterwards. It's this right here. It's called Ralph Lauren Romance. It is sealed, 3.4 ounces, 100 mil. A box this size goes for about $60. So I got it for $3, so it's a great pickup. Only 2 items, but you don't always have to pick up tons of items. These are 2 really valuable items that I didn't spend a lot of money on. So I'm excited about these 2 picks, and we're gonna head back to my son's basketball game, get that last game done, and then head on back to Primetime Treasure headquarters and see what's sold today. All right, so we got Dom's Pizza here. Just gonna check it out, see what it looks like. Not bad. I think I'm gonna get a couple slices. Then we're gonna hit the road. Well, started the day in the dark, ended the day in the dark. It's 7 o'clock, just got back. Let's go inside, say hi to Daisy, get a closer look at that vase, show you something that's sold today, and do an update on a prior item. Hey Daisy, we're home. Hey, what's going on, girl? Hey, you want to see the stuff I got today? Super excited to show you and show everybody else now that we have a more controlled environment. Let me go get that stuff, all right? It's a good shakeout right there, Daisy. Pretty good. All right, well, it really was a long day. 6 hours of driving, 2 basketball games. If you're curious, my son lost the last game. He had 4 points, but it was a lot of fun. I love watching him play, and we have a lot of fun doing these road trips together, stopping off, getting stuff to eat. and finding treasures. As you can see here, I have this vase. I want to bring it up and give you a little bit closer detail that I couldn't really give before when we were out on the road. But, you know, I decided to hit up the estate sale because while there were some garage sales going on, they were spread out all over the place. There weren't really that many, so they weren't clustered together. And the ones that I saw didn't really look like there was anything that great in them. And so I said, you know what? I love estate sales. It's my #1 thing. There's one within driving distance. Let's try and let's hit that one up. And, you know, you never know what you're going to find when you go in there. There wasn't tons of things. I couldn't put the camera on too much in there because, again, they were just blasting this music and just really wouldn't have worked out. But I was able to film me sourcing this one, so that was cool to be able to show that. And you know, I just love this thing. I mean, it is just so ornate. I mean, the colors are just, they really stand out. Now, I have done a little bit of research on this and I cannot find this exact one. Now, if you know vases really well, let me know what you know about this. Obviously, we've got the blue dragon handles on here that are really cool. There are other ones out there that, you know, look a little bit like this, that have dragon handles and stuff, but not quite the same. Usually those ones are just all blue and white. So it's like a combination blue and white, but not with all these different colors. I'm going to bring it up a little bit closer so you can see it, and I'll show you the inside as well. For $5, you just can't beat it. And I grabbed it just in time because the lady who was standing next to me, I didn't get it on film, but she was like, oh my God. She goes, I cannot believe you just got that for $5. Now, there is no maker's mark on the bottom, at least that I could make out or see right now. So I'm gonna have to do some research on this. I'm thinking it's Chinese. I can't tell you that 100%, but that's what I'm thinking. I don't know how to interpret the symbols or anything like that. So remember, you don't have to know everything. That's an important point. You just have to know enough to be able to spot value. And I know that for $5 that this is going to be you know, a nice return on investment. I would hope conservatively to be able to get at least $100 for this, and hopefully more. I don't want to just, you know, put it up without doing any research and give away something that might be worth more than that. So we'll see what happens with it. I can't wait to show Mrs. Primetime. She's not around right now. She is with my daughter at a marching band event, so we had to split up for the evening, and I'll show her later, and I will definitely give you an update on this piece at a later point. Let me know what you think about it. I'm interested to hear what you think about that item. And then there also was the Ralph Lauren perfume that I wound up getting there, the romance one. If anyone's interested in that, just let me know and I'll give you a great deal. First come, first serve on that one. So let me give you an update on another item that you saw me source last week at an estate sale. It was the second day of the sale. Everything was 50% off. And right underneath where those CDs were in the corner, you may remember that there was this item just sitting there, all alone, all by itself. It looked all kind of sad and looked like it needed a friend. So I picked it up, decided to take a look at it. And what I noticed was, I realized pretty fast why this item was still sitting there. And the reason is because it doesn't have the plug. The AC adapter is just not there. And so you can see here, this is where it's supposed to go. And without that, there is no way to test it. Now, it did have the remote there, which was cool. The remote didn't have any batteries in it, but even if it did, and even if the batteries worked, it's not gonna help you because without a power source, you can't test out the remote control either. So if you remember, this was only $2.50. So it was definitely worth taking a shot at it. So especially when you consider too, and I didn't notice at the time, but they gave me all that extra stuff that I got at the estate sale for free. So $2.50 for this, as I like to say, was a no-brainer. So what I did was I got back and I did some research on the type of plug that this needed because it wasn't a standard AC plug. It had a special size that goes in there. And I wound up investing in it. I did mention that to you. I spent about $8 and change on it. So total that I have invested into this is right around $10 or so. And so this is it right here. And I'm gonna just plug it right into the back here. All right, so I have it plugged in. So let's press the power button and see if it turns on first. It does, it turns on. So the next thing we need to do is look at the eject button and make sure that it opens because we obviously need that to put the laser disc inside. So let's press that. Oh, look at that. Primetime special 3D effect right there. Now listen, my hands are kind of full right now, so what I need you to do is just stick your hand right through the screen right there. Yep, just like that. There you go. And I need you to just push that in for me. Just get it right into, there we go. Thank you very much. That was super helpful. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are the best fans in the world. I mean, how many fans would actually get up and stick their hand right through the phone to push that in for me? You guys are amazing. I really love you guys. Thank you very much for that. Now, I'm real excited about this because now that it works and I have the remote control, and by the way, you can see here, this is the remote control, and if I press the open close button, you'll see here, it does open up. So let's get it to open. Come on, open sesame. Open sesame. There we go. Open sesame. Sometimes you do have to say open sesame. That's another trick. If you didn't know that, just try that if you're not getting it to open up. So now it's not going to close it unless it had a laser disc in it. So with the remote, so you just have to manually go like this. So the great thing, remember, $10 investment into this now. The value on this, it has sold for as high as $260, and right now that's the cheapest that you could find one of these with the remote control, by the way. So with a working remote control, $260 for this thing. There's one right now up for $260 with a working remote, and so I'm going to price this at $250. So this is ultimately going to be a nice return on investment. I'm very happy with this item. So notice that these two items right here are bigger, oversized items, and I do smalls as well. But if all you're doing is focusing on smalls, you're going to miss out on some of these bigger profit items. That doesn't mean that's all you have to do is bulk items. Mix it up. Just mix it up. I'm just saying experiment into different areas. In fact, you know, this vase right here, this is me experimenting into a different area as well. If this works out and this pays off, guess what I'm going to be paying a lot more attention to when I go out to estate sales and garage sales, mostly estate sales. I'm going to be paying attention to these things more, and we'll see how Facebook Marketplace works as a venue to actually sell that. And speaking of big items, I want to show you another sale that I made today. This is a $125 sale that I made earlier today. It's one of these Lgb trains. I've shown you many of these different styles, and I've shown you many of them that have sold for over $100. And there's just another one right here. You can see right up top, it's got the coal stacks and stuff. It's just a really cool piece. I'm really excited about this sale as well. These things just, it's hard to just keep them on the shelf. Honestly, every time I list one, they stay up maximum like a week or so, and then it's gone. So I love these. Look for these big oversized trains. If you're new to my channel, go to the video called Picking Under Pressure. You will see me pick a whole lot of these Lgb trains and Lionel trains, plus estate sale contents for $432. Sold one of the sets for $600, and everything else has been additional profit after that. So again, big bulky items do pay off and can bring in really killer profits for you. So again, just consider that for your reselling business. That's it for today. What I'm going to do tomorrow is just kind of hang out. I'm not going to the flea market. I'm going to relax. I'm going to do some listings. I feel like I got my sourcing treasure hunting bug out today, and I'm just going to relax, watch a movie with my son, and just chill out, enjoy some family time. And then next weekend, there's definitely an estate sale coming up from my #1 favorite estate sale dealer, so we're going to hit that up, and maybe some other things as well, and try to put some videos up during the week. I also will have a Bolo special show on my channel Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that's the 25th, so mark that on your calendar. I'm giving you a lot of advance notice on that. That's with myself and Don, the auction professor, so we're going to be coming at you with all sorts of bolos. So I'm excited about that. And I just did a show on Don's channel, so we talked about different sourcing locations. So if you didn't check that out, that one we did this past Friday night. So go check that video out as well, and go check out and support Don's channel. Also, make sure that if you like this video, you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe as well. Share this video with other people. Share the channel with other resellers. Let them know about all the different resources that I have here for you. Almost 500 videos. This is number 496. We're getting close to number 500. Come to my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. We've got over 12,000 members there. And come over to my Instagram page. That's @prime_time_treasure. I'll see you back at the next video, everyone. Take care.